few minutes to take a seat, and then we're going to get started. All right, it looks like pretty much everybody is seated. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2022 Sandy City Oath of Office ceremony. We're so happy to all be here today, and we're happy that you were able to join us. I am Rosie Rivera. I am the Sheriff of Salt Lake County, and my office works very closely with Sandy City administration, the police department, with common goals of ensuring the public safety of our community. Bringing government to the people is something we all strive for as public servants. We are here today at this beautiful Elta High School Performing Arts Center to swear in Sandy City's newly elected officials. For District 1, Ryan Meekum. At large, Brooke DeSalvo. The re-election of Zach Robinson for District 3, and our mayor, Monica Zoltanski. A special thanks to Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson and Congressman John Curtis for joining us today. We will have the opportunity to hear from them a little bit later in this program. We would also like to take a moment to recognize a few individuals who are in attendance today. And please forgive me, we have had several that we've marked on the list and several we had to cross off. So we're going to try to acknowledge everyone that is here today. We have Council Member Marcy Hausman, Council Chair Allison Stroud, Mayor Tom Dolan. With our state legislators, we have Representative Robert Spenlove, Representative Suzanne Harrison, Senator Kirk Cullimore, Senator Kathleen Reeve, Representative Judy Rohner, Salt Lake County Council Member Dee Theodore, Canyons Board of Education, President Nancy Tingy, Vice President Steve Wrigley, Canyons Superintendent Dr. Rick Robbins, and Board Member Amanda Oakes. And I hope I got everybody on that list. We'll continue with the program now. I'd like to also thank all the dignitaries from our neighboring cities, municipalities for joining us here today. We weren't able to gather all the names, but we do want to thank you for being here as well. Next, we would like to begin with a prayer given by Reverend John E. Norman from St. Vincent de Paul Parish. So if you join me, Reverend.
I invite each of you to place yourself in an intention of prayer according to your individual faith, tradition, or practice. Lord God, our Creator and source of life and light, we ask for the strength and wisdom needed to recognize your goodness and care for all you have created. Help us to know and respect your love for all persons. Make us aware of what you ask of us today and every day, that we may always be instruments of your love and peace in a difficult and challenging world. We celebrate the dignity you have given to each person. You have entrusted us with the care of one another. Guide us in this noble responsibility. These women and men have been entrusted with an important role in our community and municipality. Be with them as they pledge their commitment to serve this community. Guide them with kindness and care. Fill them with wisdom, honesty, and compassion for the making of excellent decisions. Grant them courage and strength to clearly address issues with truth and virtue. Fill them with a thirst and hunger for justice, a deep respect for each person, and a zeal to serve the needs of all. Endow them with the insight and vision to remember those in our communities who are the most vulnerable and those with the greatest needs. Help them to build neighborhoods and a city of persons committed to and caring for one another. We pray with the confidence of children, fully trusting in your love, kindness, and care. Allow us to see and understand our world and its needs with great clarity and insight. We join our voices in this prayer and show our agreement and trust in one another by saying together, Amen.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer. Please now all rise for the presentation of the colors by the Sandy City Police and Fire Department Honor Guard. Following this presentation, please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Jordan High School Madrigal and the Pledge of Allegiance by Bennett Davis, an Eagle Scout he's an Eagle Scout from Scout Troop 20.
Left face. Present arms.
If everyone would please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Post. Colors. Right face.
seated. Thank you so much to the Sandy Police and Fire Departments, as well as the Jordan High Madrigals and Bennett Davis. You know, every time I hear the Madrigals sing, it just brightens my day. They are so incredible. And if you think about their high school students, it makes me smile. They're going to be the future for us. Now, I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson. Deidre M. Henderson became Utah's 9th Lieutenant Governor in January of 2021. Prior to her election as the second highest official of the state, she served for 8 years in the Utah State Senate representing South Utah County. During her years in the Utah State Senate, Lieutenant Governor Henderson gained a reputation as a strong conservative, a champion for government transparency, and a vocal advocate for women and families. Lieutenant Governor Henderson and her husband Gabe are longtime residents of Spanish Fork. They have 5 children and 3 son-in-laws. They recently welcomed their first grandchild, congratulations, with another grandbaby on the way. So welcome, Lieutenant Governor Henderson.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. That grandbaby of mine was born on election day last year, so we have something in common here. It was a special day for me too. This is a really exciting day for a lot of us, and I know for the newly elected officials and the re-elected officials on the stage as well. And it's an honor to be a part of it. Olene Walker was a lieutenant governor before she became governor. Coincidentally, was the only other woman to serve as lieutenant governor so far in the state of Utah. And she liked to say, leadership is the ability to get things done. And I think that is something that's really important, especially today. We've got so many incredible leaders on the stage. So I want to thank them for their leadership, congratulate them on their elections, congratulate them on earning the trust of the people of the city of Sandy, and thank them for their past service as well. Governor Walker also talked about the importance of service and leadership in a community. And this is not just for elected officials, this is for everybody. She said, look at your life, and ask yourself, what do I need to do for my children? What do I need to do for my neighborhood, my community, or my church? Regardless of the church I belong to, there are many worthwhile things for people to do. They need to just do them, not just talk about them. So we have with us on the stand today a bunch of doers and not just talkers. And I'm really proud of the fact that these folks have stepped up. They have a long history of being doers. Now, Utah has a long history of men and women who have stepped up to serve their communities, serve our state, who have paved the path for those of us who have come behind them, who have made our communities and our state what it is today, made us have opportunities that we have, and made our lives something that is better, and our communities some places that we can enjoy. There's been a lot made of the fact that Monica is the first woman to be elected mayor in the city of Sandy. I think 129 years the city's been incorporated. Is that? Can I say it's about damn time? Yes, it's about time. But there have been a lot of wonderful men who have come before, and looking forward to Monica taking this opportunity. Now, I'm a student of history. I love history. I love connecting the past to the present. And so this is a great opportunity to just tell a quick story before I introduce our keynote speaker, Congressman. And it was 110 years ago yesterday that the very first all-female, all-woman mayor and city council, town council, was elected and took office in the state of Utah 110 years ago yesterday. And that was in the town of Kanab.
Wow.
So, and it's an interesting story because these women did not know that they were running for political office. I don't know if you guys can imagine that. They did not know that they were running for office until they won. And they were actually put on the ballot on the morning of the election as a joke, as a burlesque, as a parody. The first few men who came to the polling location that morning signed them up, put their name on a ticket, and they won overwhelmingly. And now when these women found out that they won, they were kind of mortified, embarrassed. They weren't going to accept. But because of the encouragement of their family members and friends, they decided, you know what, joke's on them. We're going to embrace this opportunity and we're going to seize the moment that we've been given. And these women, led by Mary Chamberlain as mayor, they grabbed hold of this opportunity and they did a really good job. They cleaned up the town. There was livestock that was running through the streets, cows and pigs and stray dogs. They oversaw the building of canals and bridges and irrigation ditches, and made sure that traveling salesmen paid a fee as they came through town so they wouldn't unfairly compete with local businesses. They did all sorts of really good things, and they really connected to the people. In fact, a couple of years into their service, Mary Chamberlain said that their supporters said that they have done more for the town than all the mail boards, no offense guys, but more than all the mail boards they had ever had. They urged us to run again at the coming election, and it's a noted fact, she said, that 9/10 of the people never knew before who the members of the town board were or that there even was a board. But you can ask any child on the street who the present board is, and they can tell you every one of our names. And I love that story because it shows the courage, the passion, the determination with which these women seized this opportunity that they were given, and the connection, the deep connection that they made to the people of the town that they were elected to represent. And I know that this new mayor and the new council members that were elected will seize those opportunities as well. And I look forward to seeing that service. Now I want to introduce Congressman Curtis. Now he is formerly the mayor of Provo, so he understands better than a lot of people how important local government is, and that local government is where rubber meets the road. He is a representative of Utah's 3rd Congressional District, and until Saturday, he was my congressman. And then I got redistricted out of his district. So now I'm in the 4th Congressional District, but he was a good congressman while it lasted. He's still a good congressman. He was elected in 2017, and he's worked on making sure that we have better management of our public lands and national parks. He's worked on combating human trafficking, supporting small businesses. He's worked on climate change, and he's a member of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. And more importantly than any of those things, I think he's a really good person and a really good friend of mine, and someone that I am very proud to introduce and proud that represents the state of Utah, Congressman Curtis.
Governor Henderson, and just as a point of trivia, when the governor's not here, protocol says you can call the lieutenant governor governor. I'm so pleased, Governor, to have you here with us today. I love our governor, but Lieutenant Governor Henderson holds a special place, not just in my heart, but in our family's heart. Thank you for that warm introduction. And Sheriff, thank you for being here. Council Chair, council members-elect, Mayor-elect, shortly Mayor, it's a delight to be with you today. I couldn't help but think on my way to Sandy this morning of my first trip to Sandy. Now this will date me a lot. 50 years ago, just like the scout who stood here and did the Pledge of Allegiance, I traveled from Salt Lake City south to the wilderness area of Sandy to camp. And at the time, there wasn't a lot here, and I remember it was a long time ago, it was a quarter century ago, but I remember this large gully where we set up our tents, and that's my first memory of Sandy. Well, my second significant, there have been many, but my second significant trip to Sandy was days after I was inaugurated as Provost Mayor. I hopped in the car with my deputy mayor to come to Sandy to meet with Mayor Dolan because so many good things were happening in Sandy. We wanted to learn how to be a good mayor. And Mayor Dolan, I believe you're here. Thank you for your mentoring and your inspiration. Well, I read of a story with great interest of a fire that was in Sandy. A building that apparently that was built in 1907 caught fire in 1930. The building was built for dances, stage plays, and musical programs. Brothers Byron and Lester Park were the first to use the building for black and white silent films. It was constructed of brick and had a gable roof. The hall served the community well until 1930, when it was partially destroyed by fire. Sandy resident Zen Littlefield saw flames coming out of the roof and called the fire department immediately across the street. They responded quickly, but by the time they arrived, the building had burned, all except for the walls. Now, I wasn't there, but I can assume some things. That building was rebuilt, that we know, and no doubt it was rebuilt with volunteers, with community members coming together the way that we did things back there. It was an era of working together, playing together, and building together. Well, a similar fire took place in Provo a number of years before that, Provo here in Sandy. It was the Lewis Hall, located on Provo Center Street. And the first home of the Brigham Young Academy caught fire, and by morning, only a portion of brick remained of this $15,000 building. The story would end there if it weren't for the demonstration of character of the residents of that great city. When the fire was discovered, some men rang the bell, others ran around town yelling, "Fire, fire!" A large crowd gathered around Lewis Hall and began pulling furniture from the building and Professor Mazur's papers, office furniture, and pictures that were all saved. Several young men assembled a bucket brigade. 2 rows of men stretching from the building, 1 row passed full buckets of water, and the other returned empty buckets to the stream down below. Today, cities like Sandy and Provo have professionals who are trained and whose dedication allows us to sleep at night without a bucket by the side of our beds. But as good as the professionals are, the heart, the soul, everything in a city that makes it good comes from the residents. It's that same spirit that came together to build the Sandy Community Center in 1907. The same spirit that formed the Bucket Brigade to put out the fire. It's a powerful force, and it's that same force that will help our mayor and city council do the difficult tasks ahead of them. Mayor and city council, you come to office at a time in our nation's history when many elected leaders have confused government for the people. It's easy to see the government as the solution to all our problems, as having all the answers. And I'm so pleased to hear the theme of today's meetings, government to the people, for the people, and that you have a deep understanding that your success will come from the residents. Now, it was mentioned that I served as mayor of Provo, and if you'll indulge me a moment of personal reflection, there's some observations as a mayor that I would like to share with the new mayor and city council members and with all of you. First, to the mayor. Help is everywhere. City staff, constituents, me, former mayors, other mayors around the state, and state elected officials. But you have to ask. Number 2, you will constantly underestimate the power of your title. You are the mayor of Sandy. People respect that. People are honored to have you in their homes and at their events. Number 3, you'll make mistakes. And when you do, they taught me, tell the truth, tell it all, and tell it fast. Trust me, that will save you a lot. For the rest of us here today, some observations about being mayor. It's not realistic to expect perfection. These good men and women that come before us to serve as mayor and city council members are just like all of us, normal people with families, with jobs, with responsibilities. And too often we expect perfection from them. The media, critics will be very quick to criticize, but that's not realistic. Number two, it's impossible for us to feel the weight on their shoulders. Only they know the responsibility of going to bed at night with the burdens and the obligations of this office. And those of us that surround them and support them would do well to cheer for them, encourage them, and pray for them. Finally, my mother was the first woman school board president of the Granite School District. My great-grandmother was the first woman to serve on the Salt Lake School District. My wife was the first woman to serve as the president of the Provo School District. And Lieutenant Governor Henderson and I share a story that we love of the first woman state senator to serve in Utah, Martha Hughes Cannon. Now, I don't know if you know the story of Martha Hughes Cannon. Martha Hughes Cannon was the first woman state senator in the United States, and she won that office by defeating her husband. You should know that she's my wife's great-grandmother, and so I look over my shoulder all the time. We are so honored and pleased to have the first woman mayor of Sandy City. Many great ones have come before you, but Mayor, it's an honor to have you serve and an honor to be the first woman to serve in this office. I want you to know that you have my full support, you and the City Council and the staff of the city and the residents of the city. It's an honor to represent you, and it's an honor to be here today. So happy for you all. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thanks, both of you. I remember when I first met Lieutenant Governor Henderson, we both sat on a panel and we were encouraging women to run for elected positions. So it's interesting to see where we ended up. And hopefully we were able to encourage more women. Also with Congressman John Curtis, I'll tell you, when you were mayor of Provo, I used to watch you on the news quite often. And I learned a lot. And you have a lot of patience, and I've known for my patience as well. But I just want to say what an honor it is to have both of you here today. We are going to next watch a video with a message from Sandy City Council Chair Allison Stroud. Following the video, Chair Stroud will give us a few remarks.
As a council member, one of my focuses is to continue to build community. I'm always looking to create opportunities for residents to be further engaged in our wonderful city. By providing activities that enrich our lives and bond with one another, we are establishing connections that are long-lasting and meaningful, something that every community strives for. A second focus of mine is to ensure our city remains safe. Safe for children to play outside, safe for families to walk to the park, safe for commuters to travel from point A to point B, whether that is by foot, bicycle, or car. Every resident deserves to feel safe in their home, neighborhood, and community around them. What do I love about Sandy and the community? What is there not to love? We are perfectly nestled in the Salt Lake Valley, close to the hustle and bustle of downtown Salt Lake, but without the congestion. If you look to the east, the Wasatch Mountains offer plenty of recreational opportunities, all within a short drive from your driveway. Our downtown district offers a wide variety of shopping centers, including our very own Southtown Mall. Sandy is home to the Real Stadium, bringing in people from all over the Wasatch Front to cheer on their favorite soccer team. From our local community theater to the Hale Center Theater, arts are also an important part of our community. Sandy has just about everything we need, including you. Thank you. We are excited to welcome our new council members and mayor today. How fortunate we are to serve the residents of Sandy, who are the best part of our city. Many of our residents are doing great things each and every day that make Sandy such a wonderful place to live in. They strengthen our community and truly are the unsung heroes of our city. Please enjoy our next video showcasing just a few of these everyday heroes.
Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to teach. I am a first grade teacher at Sunrise Elementary. This is year number 17. I love what I do. I'm from a small town in Terrio, Louisiana. Growing up, my dad used to read me this story over and over. When I was in first grade, he read the story to me again. And that's the first time I found out that my dad didn't know how to read. He was American Indian. He wasn't treated like everyone else. And I knew then that I was going to grow up and be someone that someone can count on, rely on, and help every child, no matter their ethnic background, no matter their abilities or disabilities. I do believe that everybody has a purpose in life, and I found my purpose in calling with students in the classroom. I've been teaching at Sunrise for about 5 years. Each and every year, students are different, parents are different, things change, but you always do your best to meet their needs. Being a teacher online during COVID has brought about some changes, but I do believe it's made me a better teacher. Planning for 42 students, I need to make sure that my lessons are engaging, they are fun, and they really capture them. There's so many fun things that I like to do to get the kids engaged. Whether it's shooting them fireworks on the screen or giving them a seal of approval or round of applause. I send Snapchats. I'll put filters on and let them know that I'm critiquing their work and how proud I am of them. They never know when they're gonna get a message from Mrs. Paul dressed up.
Hi, boys and girls. I hope you're enjoying your first day online.
And so I always like to keep them engaged, surprised, motivated, to let them know that what they're doing is important and I see it.
She's a great teacher, and also her videos make me laugh. I like how she teaches. I like her videos. She's the best teacher ever.
What's most important to me as a teacher is really building my relationships with my students and really making every day count with them. I'm going to be someone they can count on because teaching means the world to me.
When Sandy City told me that I was going to be the teacher for yoga in the parks, I was just so thrilled that the Sandy City administration also saw the benefits of doing yoga in the parks. It's not a very common thing. I haven't heard of it anywhere else in Utah. So bringing it here, it's a wonderful way to get outside and connect with not only yourself, with your neighbors, and also with nature. My favorite part is getting to know the people. I see people at the grocery store from yoga in the parks or soccer games. Just seeing people around who came to my class and getting to know them. I just completely loved teaching it, and it never felt like volunteer work. I gained so much out of teaching yoga in the parks, and I look forward to many more summers to come.
So the organization that I run is called whiteribbonweek.org, a nonprofit that prepares materials for schools where they can teach internet safety and digital citizenship. I think it was about 10 years ago when a friend of mine who was a PTA president put out all the sheets for back to school night of ways that parents could volunteer. And one of them said internet safety, and I was the only one who signed up. And so that year I thought, you know what? Why are we teaching kids to be safe in so many other ways? We're teaching them to wear their helmets when they ride their bikes, and we're teaching them how to be careful crossing the street. But there's this huge hole in teaching them how to be safe online. So the first year, I just did it for my own neighborhood school and didn't think anything of it. And someone must have shared it with someone from the district. From that point on, it kind of grew. Other schools contacted me saying, can we do your program? The state PTA contacted me, said, can we give this out at our state convention? And so at that point, I realized this is something that people are really looking for solutions. the way our program works is that we don't tell kids, this is good, this is bad, this is what you should watch, this is what you should turn off. It's not like that. It's teaching kids 5 questions that they can ask about media. It is helping them think through, what are my values, what are my family values, what choices in media are healthy for me and not, and how can I choose those for myself? They're looking for clues around the school, and when they learn all the 5 steps to evaluate media, they earn their mustache, and so they all get this little media detective mustache, and so by the end of the week, you see all these little media detectives with their mustaches. Any school that wants to put it on can do that. So a lot of my responsibilities now, day to day, is kind of mentoring some of these wonderful hero moms and dads who are willing to bring White Ribbon Week to their school. Our schools need us and our teachers need us. And I think as we get involved as parents, our community is so much stronger. It's really a joy to be involved in something where there's so many good people trying to do good things and seeing how much impact it can have on kids.
My name is Joey Miyashima, and I currently coach at the Waterford School in Sandy. I coach girls soccer, girls basketball, and boys soccer. Waterford's a little different in that it's a pretty small school. You can go from 3 years old to high school, all grades. About the time my youngest daughter was in upper school, I started coaching girls soccer and girls basketball, and then a little later boys soccer. And then they all graduated, but I'm still there. And for me, just the teaching part, confidence and leadership, the team camaraderie, sportsmanship, the bus rides, it's great. I'm an actor, so it was always fun when they recognized me. Like, I remember playing Valley High School. I had just done a Disney Channel movie called Double Team, where I played a coach of a girls basketball team. It came out on a Friday, and then on the Saturday, we went to play them. A lot of the kids, they couldn't quite understand how they saw me on TV the night before, and then I was in Orderville, Utah, in their gym. So that was always a part of my other life that was fun when they recognized me during my coaching experiences. And I'm always happy on the sidelines. I mean, even though I'm yelling at them to rebound or to box out, you know, it's just really a fun experience for me. I really try to focus on the positives and encouragement at all times, during practices, during bus rides, during the games, to everyone. And that's just how it should be, because that's what this whole experience is for.
Back in October, I was taking my boys for a walk over on Sago Lily and Sandy. A car came and didn't see us. It hit me in the stroller. Unfortunately, the stroller took most of the impact. One of my boys was thrown out of the stroller, my 3-year-old, and then my 18-month-old was kind of pinned inside the stroller. I had to revive him. He wasn't breathing. Luckily, I'm an EMT. I work full-time at the University Hospital ER. I had to use my EMT skills to help them until Sandy Fire got there. Got work in the ER. I've seen a ton of stuff there, but when you have to save your kids, it's totally different. After the accident, my 18-month-old didn't wake up for about a week, and then when he did wake up, he was unable to move the left side of his body. He does pretty much every kind of therapy you can think of: physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, feeding therapy. So we pretty much have doctor's appointments every day. But now he can crawl and say a few kind of like basic words like mama and dada. So they've come really far, and we feel incredibly blessed and lucky that they're alive. I can't believe the outpouring of love and support that we've received from like the firefighters to the neighborhood where the accident happened. Everyone has been so amazing and so kind. We had meals delivered to us for like 2 months after. I've told my husband I never want to move because everyone's been so incredibly kind and supportive. Thanks to everyone that has been there helping and supporting us.
When I grew up, my parents taught me to work hard, and that was a really essential component of my life. That's why I do what I do on the road, is because I enjoy working hard and being outside. The Parks and Recreation Department is just excellent. They come up every week and make it look really nice. But if you have a storm, or you have a wind blow, or you have something happen where leaves will all go off on the sidewalk, my thinking was I would try to fill in and help them from day to day. I tried to do it every day. I tried to get out between an hour and 6 hours. I've been doing it for the past couple of years. I mean, I really enjoy getting outside and working hard. People stop and talk to me, and they'll say, oh, we really like it. Thanks for doing it and all that stuff. That makes it so sweet when people stop and they'll talk to me for a minute. That's what I want to do to help Sandy, to help my community, because that's what I value. It's a win-win. I win, I get exercise, I get out, and Sandy wins by having it look nice. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to keep doing it as long as I can.
I'm a crossing guard. I work at Sandy Elementary. I've been doing it for a long time and I love it all. When I see my little kids early in the morning, it brightens their day because sometimes I'm the first one to say good morning.
I've been a crossing guard 15 plus years. I feel like I'm giving back. It's a small service, but it's a big one. I go out of my way to learn their first names and let them know my first name, so it's a very positive energy.
We form relationships with these children. This is my community. This is my neighborhood school. My kids into the school. And I just like seeing the kids every day and keeping everybody safe.
My very favorite part is knowing that I am protecting these little kids. I enjoy it all, and they're all sweet. But the favorite part is knowing that I have helped them and said good morning and made sure they got safely to school.
to the community heroes of Sandy City. And another beautiful number from the Jordan High School Madrigals. We'll let them walk off stage before we continue. I would now like to introduce the Honorable Judge Paul Farr, who will be conducting the swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected officials of Sandy City.
Thank you, Sheriff. If I could invite Ryan Meekum. If I can invite Ryan Meekum. Thank you. If you'll raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office.
With fidelity.
With fidelity.
Congratulations. And Councilmember Brooke D'Souza. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend.
that I will support, obey, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
And that I will discharge the duties of my office.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
With fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. And Councilmember Zach Robinson. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend.
that I will support, obey, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
and the Constitution of the State of Utah.
That I will discharge the duties of my office.
And I will discharge the duties of my office
With fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mayor Zoltanski. I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear
That I will support, obey, and defend.
that I will support, obey, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
And that I will discharge the duties of my office.
and I will discharge the duties of my office
With fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you. Let's give them one more hand. And now we will see short videos introducing our newly elected officials and hear remarks from each one of them.
My wife Heather and I are thrilled to join everyone here in the grand project of community building. As a fellow Sandia resident, I appreciate this community for its sense of community. Arthur Brooks, a Harvard scholar, teaches that a good portion of human happiness comes down to how we handle three things: faith, family and friends, and work. Now, he says faith doesn't mean any faith in particular. The key is to find a structure through which you can ponder life's deeper questions and transcend a focus on your narrow self-interest by serving others. Similarly, there's no magic formula for what shape your family and friendship should take. The key is to cultivate and maintain loving, faithful relationships with other people. People who have loving relationships with family and friends thrive. Those who don't. Finally, there's work. Well, what kind of work? White collar, blue collar, stay-at-home parenting, work requiring college? These are actually the wrong questions. What makes work meaningful is not the kind of work it is, but the sense that it gives you that you are earning your success and serving others. For most people, the notion that happiness is found by serving others, like our friends and family, as well as our customers at work, is called common sense. We always appreciate when academia confirms what we already know in our hearts. So what does this mean for our Sandy community? It means our community should foster opportunities to volunteer to serve others so we can transcend ourselves. Live near our friends and family, and also live in a place where we can access work that earns success while serving others. The bottom line is we build our community by serving one another. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to serving alongside you. My wife Heather and I are thrilled to join everyone here in this grand project of community building. I appreciate this community because so many residents dedicate themselves to peace building and serving their neighbors. We all speak of peace, but what is it really? Peace is more than just the absence of violence. Positive peace, as scholars Patrick Mason and David Pulsifer teach, consists of three pillars, of which are the structures on which our society sits: justice, equity, and commitment to the common good. A similar term, just peace, connotes fairness, human dignity, and devotion to the common good. If we in our community wish to build the conditions for positive peace, we must maximize opportunities for all of our neighbors. But who are our neighbors? They include those we know and love, like our family and friends, and they also include our vulnerable populations, such as people re-entering society as convicted felons, people experiencing racism, people moving between countries as refugees, people struggling with self-reliance, people confronting homelessness, people suffering from violence, especially domestic violence, people recovering from addictions, people suffering from illiteracy, people belonging to the LGBTQ community, and the list goes on and on. The keys for building productive, positive peace exist at the local and community level, because here we actually see and are in a relationship with the person who needs our help. How do we become more intentional peace builders in our community? By building relationships with those in our most vulnerable communities. Perhaps we think that we don't have time or resources to build this positive peace. However, something as simple as sharing a meal with someone that you wouldn't normally engage with does the trick. That's what community is all about. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to serving alongside you.
During my term, my main focus will be on our budgetary process to ensure we can thrive without putting an extra burden on our taxpayers. I will adhere to sound budgeting principles that reflect our community priorities and address our areas of greatest need. I will also work to further our city's water conservation efforts. Those efforts must be thoughtful and ongoing. We must come together as city leadership, businesses, and residents to create actionable plans that protect our future water supply. Additionally, I would like to identify opportunities that increase community engagement and connectedness in ways that are meaningful to our residents. Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." To me, this quote sums up the power of community, and I would like to foster a culture that values our support of one another. I love that we can truly live, work, and play in Sandy City, and our view of the Wasatch Mountains really is unmatched. Hello everyone, I am Brooke D'Souza and I am your newly elected Sandy City Council at-large representative. I wanted to take a brief moment to thank each of you for the support you have shown me throughout my campaign. I really was overwhelmed by the kindness and generosity of so many as you hosted driveway parties for me and passed out door hangers to your neighbors, all in support for our shared community vision. I want to extend a special thanks to my family, especially my husband Adam, for his unwavering support and encouragement as I embarked on one of the most difficult things I have ever done. And I've done quite a few difficult things in my life. He was more than willing to take on any responsibility I had to set aside so that I could focus on engaging and connecting with as many of the 100,000 residents of Sandy as I possibly could over my campaign. I also want to thank my children, Raven, Lachlan, and Jude, for cheering me on and reminding me that they would be okay in my absence because, well, Dad's totally got it handled, Mom. Deciding to run for City Council wasn't a decision that I made lightly or quickly. In 2017, I attended a City Council Citizens Academy that gave me a really comprehensive 8-week look at municipal government. I was amazed by how much I took for granted because I didn't fully understand to be able to really appreciate the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes to providing the services so seamlessly to us residents. We truly have an exceptional workforce filled with people who have tons of experience and a wide range of expertise and who are passionate about serving our city. It also became abundantly clear that municipal government is as close to the people that represent you as you could possibly get, and now as a representative as close to the people that I represent. We are neighbors, our children go to school together, we see each other at the grocery store. We come to each other's aid when someone needs help clearing snow, and we rally together to celebrate a positive story in our community. This new perspective allowed me to attend City Council meetings with more clarity and an open mind. I worked to see the bigger picture, and I began to understand that the decisions made by the council were often larger, more complex, and more nuanced than I was previously aware. As time went on, my engagement with the city grew. In addition to attending weekly City Council meetings, I also served on city focus groups. I volunteered my time for Sandy beautification projects, and I served 2 years on the Sandy Club board. Still, the decision for City Council didn't come easy. I knew I had the knowledge and experience to complement the council and enhance the city's leadership, but still second-guessed if I really had what it takes to get there. Ultimately, however, I knew I had something special to offer the residents of this city, as well as a genuine desire to serve. And after much consideration of the short and long-term sacrifices that myself and my family would make, we decided together that I would once more put myself out there for consideration. Now, I'm no stranger to sacrifice. I became a mother at the young age of 17. For most of my life now, I have put the needs of others before my own, as mothers do. I'm sorry. I wish Chief Klein were here. He'd understand. When my daughter was 4, she was diagnosed on the autism spectrum. A young single mother working full-time to support us both. This presented us both with an incredible challenge, but we were ready to experience and do that together. We persevered every step of the way, and we continue to persevere to this day. My grandma often reminded me of a quote she had heard that goes, "We find ourselves in the sacrifices that we make." Looking back on my life, I realized just how true that is. It was in those sacrifices that I found my purpose. I hope to use my life's experiences to help others because I truly understand the importance and value of a stranger's generosity and compassion. I hope to be an advocate for the most vulnerable among us as we work together to solve our challenges and help us truly thrive as a community. While campaigning, I went door to door throughout the various neighborhoods that span this city. I had the pleasure of meeting and speaking with many residents who shared with me the things that they think are going well and the things they think could use some improvement. I have a solid understanding of the differing needs and unique challenges facing each neighborhood. And I am eager to work with each of you as we come together to solve the issues present now
and those that emerge at some point down the road. I sincerely look forward to being your citywide council representative and getting to know each of you more personally. Thank you.
As an elected official, my main points of focus are to keep Sandy residents safe in their communities, ensure adequate services are delivered to our residents, and to be an advocate for the residents that I represent. What I love the most about the community of Sandy is the sense of pride that each of our residents have in their neighborhoods and communities. It's amazing to see residents come together and help each other out in times of need. Whether that's helping each other rake leaves for the fall leaf cleanup, help shovel snow in the winter, or participate in our summer recreation programs. The residents of Sandy care about where they live, and it shows. I love that. While I get set up here, I have to apologize before my comments today. I don't have a voice. It's left in Pasadena, California. The Britton Covey run back shredded my vocal cords, so I do apologize ahead of time if my voice cracks or if I just can't come across. If I can't come across, we'll just leave it there. Before I start, I wanted to share a quick story. I'm wearing a pink shirt today. My daughters have informed me that pink makes people happy. Today is an absolutely wonderfully happy day. There's so many great people up on this stage, and I really hope that together we can celebrate. Today is an absolute celebration, and so I wanted to wear this pink shirt because, again, today I believe is a happy day, and so thank you all for coming out and sharing this wonderful experience with those of us that are sitting up here. As I was thinking about what I wanted to say today to you all, I wanted to use my time as an opportunity to say thank you. The old saying, it takes a village, or whatever adage you want to throw out there, it really does take a lot of people to get those of us that are sitting on the stage, from our federal colleagues to our state colleagues, all the way down to those of us that are going to be helping you at a city level. It takes a lot. And so I wanted to use my time today to say thank you to the people that helped me get up here on this stage. First and foremost, my wife Nicole, my daughter Hannah, my daughter Haley. This is my campaign staff. They were absolutely amazing this campaign cycle, and I want to say thank you. They were out there in the cold and the rain. They were out there in the sun and the heat. And they are just absolutely the reason why I do this. So thank you to my family, to my wife and daughters, to my parents, Jeff and my mom Ruth Ann, my stepmother Jan. You guys are always major supporters of me, and thank you. It means a lot that you ask me how things are going. Even as council is in full swing, it means a lot to me that you take the opportunity to just ask me how things are going. So thanks for being a consistent supporter, and my biggest cheerleaders. My siblings, Britt and Cam, these are their spouses as well. Beth and Trav, Ryan and Caroline for being sideline champions for me. After I won this last election, I was really fortunate to spend time with all of them, and we just laughed and had a good time, but they were biggest champions of mine. I do appreciate that. My closest friends, Matt and Haley, thank you so much for being a sounding board for me when I needed the opportunity to just sit down and talk for a second, so thank you. Also, thanks Adam and Graham for being those same listening boards, although just a little bit different. I also want to say thank you to my mentors. I have a lot of mentors, specifically council mentors. To council members that are currently with us still, to council members that are previously, have just finished their terms, also those that have finished their terms before me. I learned a lot from all of you. So Chris Nickel, who's vacating District 3, she's a longtime council member. Thank you for what you've done and what you've taught me. Steve Fairbanks, Mayor Bradburn, Mayor Dolan. I learned a lot from all of you, although you may not have really picked up on that, but I was watching you and I was learning from you both, so thank you so much. I want to thank my campaign volunteers as well. It is truly humbling until you are actually in that position and you have people that are taking time out of their Saturdays or their weekday nights to go knock on somebody's door that they don't even know. It's truly amazing. It's a very humbling experience when somebody volunteers their time to come and help you on your campaign. I also want to say congratulations. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my new colleagues, Brooke and Ryan. I really look forward to serving with you both. I also want to thank my opponents, Jim and Becca. These are dedicated residents, excuse me, that stepped up and they want to serve their community. I got to meet their families through this experience, and I really appreciated the time to get to know them, but I also want to thank them for stepping up and getting into this wild ring known as municipal politics. And lastly, I just want to thank the residents of this wonderful city. I've appreciated the opportunity. I've not taken it for granted. And these last 4 years as serving as an at-large council member, I got to meet so many wonderful people from all four corners of the city. I really, really valued that, and thank you for that. I appreciate the trust that you've put in me to send me back to the council representing District 3. And I look forward to hearing from all of you of how we can better improve our city. So thank you all for being here on this exceptionally happy day, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Monica Zoltanski, and I'm proud to be your newly elected Sandy City Mayor. As mayor, my main focus is to strengthen the connections in our community, the connections we have to one another, and our connections in City Hall. Each resident has a voice with decisions that are made in Sandy City. Getting residents involved is critically important to the future of our city. Growth and redevelopment in Sandy should reflect the community standards. Careful planning and input from citizens like you will shape that vision into a reality. As your mayor, I will continue to prioritize providing excellent city services. Residents have come to expect a level of customer service from Sandy, and we will continue in that legacy. I want to preserve the best of the things about Sandy, like the diversity of our neighborhoods, the open space, and our thriving business community. I will continue to look for improvements in reducing traffic, responsible growth, sustainability, and public safety, to name just a few. My ultimate goal is to reaffirm Sandy as the premier city along the Wasatch Front, for now and years into the future. Sandy has beautiful neighborhoods with an abundance of outdoor recreation opportunities and open space. From every corner in the city, we are treated with stunning views. Most of all, though, it's the caring and helpful people who make Sandy a great place to live. Our residents have a strong sense of civic pride and a desire to improve our community. Every single one of you, with your unique qualities, contribute to the beautiful and diverse tapestry of Sandy City. I'm privileged to be serving as your new mayor.
Good afternoon. I'm just going to take a minute to absorb this moment. It's been a long road to get here, and I'm just so proud to see you all and honored by the presence of our esteemed speakers, our elected officials. Thank you so much to Alta High School for sharing your beautiful facility. Isn't this amazing to be here today? To the Jordan High School madrigals, the drum line that we're going to hear from. I don't know if we could just turn up the house lights if that's possible and just give ourselves a big round of applause for being such an awesome community. I am so honored to stand here today to be as your new mayor. As a city council member over the past 2 years, I've learned firsthand the skill and professionalism and experience and dedication of our hardworking 600 Sandy City employees that it takes to deliver the community services and improving the day-to-day lives of our residents. I'm honored that you have chosen me as your mayor to be the city's chief executive, and I pledge to work for you. I will work each day to improve life in our city. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate again our new Sandy City Council members. I look forward to working with you and our returning council members to enhance the life in our city. Chances are today, from the moment you woke up, you had multiple interactions with your city government without giving it much thought. When you turned on your water to brush your teeth, took out the garbage, drove down a plowed city street today, walked your dog on our city sidewalks or in our beautiful city parks, you just enjoyed a Sandy City service. As we've heard today from those in the know, Congressman Curtis, Lieutenant Governor Henderson, and Sheriff Rivera, local government serves best when we bring people close together. In Sandy, we have excellent police and fire services. We respect and trust those officers. We have clean water, safe roads, convenient bulk waste, garbage, and recycling services that we rely on. We have beautiful parks and a city rec center we can be proud of. Well, it's not Provo's yet, but maybe we'll get there. These important services benefit our 100,000 residents, our businesses, and visitors each day. The theme of my administration is government and service to the people. And the focus of my administration is you. We are one Sandy, whether you're a lifelong resident, as Bennett Davis, Mark's Eagle Scout, is, or whether you're a new arrival, someone who is here to take in a tech job in the new tech corridor. Your voice is valued and welcome with equal interest. We need your voice and we need your participation, whether you're a long-term resident or a new arrival. We need it. It's no longer enough for Sandy City officials to receive questions and concerns and complaints when they come to light. No, we must be proactive leaders. We must inform our busy residents when there's an issue at hand that will impact their neighborhoods. We must offer convenient tools to weigh in on a local decision. Take time, most importantly, to listen, to understand and implement solutions generated through improved public engagement. This is my goal. Ultimately, Sandy City government works best when it reflects the people we serve, and we have a very diverse community. I'm looking out into the audience today, and I want to say hello to the people who are watching online. This is our first live stream and live swearing-in ceremony. We have a very diverse community, from the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon to our Karens district, our library neighborhoods, my District 4, the Bluff, Wasatch Boulevard. We have a beautiful, diverse community and a beautiful, healthy economy. To achieve the diversity represented well, I will do three things. I will build on the innovation and efficiencies of communication and technology that Mayor Bradburn implemented. I will tap into the deep community networks Mayor Dolan worked so hard to enhance, and add my own passion, my unique passion and skill for citizen empowerment and engagement to make sure every area of our city is represented. By creating new pathways for people to participate and engage in local decisions, such as taking resident surveys, attending town halls, hosting open forums and public forums, meetings at convenient times and places for our citizens who will want to participate in them, we will offer our residents greater access and better opportunity to influence local decisions. In fact, just hosting this ceremony today here at Alta High School shows that we are committed to deepening our reach in the community. And it's quite likely that we are in the presence of great future leaders here among our students present. So I want to recognize and thank the students for their energy in bringing your opportunity to strengthen our community. I want your opinion at City Hall. My goal as your mayor is to collect your perspective, and my first opportunity is to ask that you participate in an online survey just launched to collect your perspective on the Little Cottonwood Canyon transit decision. Today, my administration's first act is to launch this online survey for Sandy residents to focus and amplify our voices to state decision makers. And some of those state decision makers are here in the audience today, so I thank you for coming. You honor me with your presence. I want to make sure we are well represented and our state leaders are informed on how this most important regional transportation decision will impact our Sandy roads, environment, neighborhoods, and our local economy. The first Sandy mayor was elected in 1897. I am the 27th mayor, and the first woman to be elected to that seat since. I look forward to the day when a candidate's gender is no longer notable, but for now it is a milestone worth celebrating, and I'm very honored to be that trailblazer. I'm so glad so many of you took the time to answer the door when you probably looked on your Ring camera or your porch camera and saw this lady with a red cowboy hat at the door. I don't know if people thought I was selling pony rides out front or had something to say, but you know, my red cowboy hat started with my Dimpledale days advocating to preserve Dimpledale Park from being paved, and it's been with me ever since. And I see it, and many others see it, as a way, number one, to recognize me, and number two, as a symbol of that grit and determination to take an idea, create change, build consensus, bring people on board, and show that one person with an idea, when joined by the force of community, can make great change. That's a lesson that I have to recognize my parents, Barbara and Edward Zoltanski, who are no longer living, but they are with me here today for sure. They raised 10 exceptional children, they were exceptional parents, and what a privilege to have their lessons being raised by Depression-era parents who taught value, hard work, thrift, and when you get knocked down, everybody makes mistakes. You brush yourself off, you get back up, and you try it again, because none of us are perfect, and as your mayor, I'm sure I will make mistakes. When I do, I will come back, hopefully stronger after listening to you, seeking your input and advice as I go along the way. So please be patient as I learn my new role and know that I will lead with an open heart and to give every day my best to the people of Sandy to promote understanding, strengthening our community. I also must recognize my friend Father Norman here, who's here today. He is the pastor at St. Vincent's, former president and judge. And he and I ride horses together, and we've had many discussions about life, about faith, about service over the miles on our horses in Dimpledale Park. Father Norman is one of my friends and faith leaders. I went to Catholic school, my grade school, high school, and college, the Notre Dame nuns at Notre Dame Academy in Toledo, Ohio. If I'm known as a hard worker or someone who's tenacious, I have to credit the Notre Dame nuns. There were no shortcuts, there were no easy outs. They held me very accountable, and that discipline and the drills and the rigor of that education, surviving that education and meeting their expectations definitely shaped my whole future. And my professors at Marquette University and University of Toledo Law School have taken all those lessons with me throughout life, so I thank and honor you. So I'm so grateful that you did answer the door to the lady in the red cowboy hat when I showed up, and I was surprised even in 2021 to hear girls say, Mayor, now, is that a job for girls? Is that a job for girls? Well, I think we got the answer. You, the Sandy voters, have shown that yes, absolutely, that is a job for girls. Sandy voters welcome strong leadership. We can all be proud we live in a city where there's opportunity for anyone willing to put in the time to listen and work and understand and advocate for our community needs. I thank all of you for being part of my journey, and I look forward to 4 years of success ahead. I will never take your trust for granted. I am honored for this opportunity to serve, and I pledge to work each day committed to preserve and strengthen this Sandy City, the city we all love. Now, grit and hard work, let's get to work.
Thank you all for joining us today for this special occasion. Congratulations to the mayor and city council members. We know Sandy City is in good hands. Thank you for serving this community. And thank you, Congressman Curtis and Lieutenant Governor Henderson, for joining us today. And special thanks to Canyon School District and the students of Alta and Jordan High Schools for their help with today's ceremony in this beautiful Performing Arts Center. We would like to ask you all to join us in the lobby for a reception while enjoying the music by the Alta High School Drumline. Thank you, everyone.